This video is for you if you are a beginning trout fisherman or if you're looking to get into trout fishing. This simple and easy technique will have you catching more trout in no time. Let's get right to the video. Technique that I'm going to go over in this video works best for stock trout, especially in lakes and ponds. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I did here, and this technique works really well for me a lot of the time for catching a lot of different species of trout, but again, mostly stock trout and mostly in lakes and ponds. And as you can see, I got one pretty quickly into getting out there. So what I'm doing here, as you can see, it's a pretty windy day, and I like to go out when the wind is blowing from the south. When the wind is blowing from the south, I have a lot less luck when it's coming from the north. Typically that's the sign of like a cold front coming in, and that can really stop the bite. But the trick that we're going over here today, the tip that I'm going to talk about here today, there's a nice little rainbow right there, is going to be go out on a day where you got a decent wind coming from the south. Now that bank over to my left over there, that's the north bank. You're going to want to fish from the north bank, or like I am, pretty close over there to the north bank. Now I'm out on a dock, that way I can get a little bit deeper and get my cast a little bit farther out if I want to, and this technique will hopefully have you catching rainbows to keep for dinner or to release, whatever your preference is, in no time. A lot of different baits work for trout. What I'm using in this video is dough bait, floating dough bait. Berkeley Power Bait is a good brand, but scented or unscented, whatever, brightly colored. I'm using orange colored and chartreuse colored. Those are the two colors of Berkeley Power Bait that I'm using in this video, but a floating dough bait works amazing for stock trout. And I've caught some wild trout on dough bait as well, but the stockers really go wild for them. And every trout in this video here was actually caught on dough bait, and I can tell you the rig that I was using too, and then it's up to you to get out, go to your local water, and get on some trout for yourself. So here's the rig that I was using. I like to use a light or an ultralight setup, preferably around like a 6-foot rod or so you get some length to cast, so you can cast further out if you need to. Sometimes really short ultralight rods you can't cast quite as far. Now I typically run 2-pound or 4-pound line. Fluoro works really well, but mono works fine too. And you're going to want to use line that is, low visibility. I've got a link to the line that I'm using in this video in the description, so go check that out. And I put about 1/4 ounce of weight, like a little barrel sinker, egg sinker, 1/4 ounce of weight to a swivel on that line. And then I typically run the same leader. Sometimes I might do a 4-pound line to a 2-pound leader if I really fish in clear water, and I think that the fish are being really finicky and they're not biting, because trout can see pretty light line and get spooked and swim off. So you're going to want light line. I wouldn't go higher than maybe like 6-pound. You're going to have about a foot leader to 18-inch leader, anywhere in there. If you're fishing deeper, if you're fishing with really tall weeds on the bottom, you might go a little bit longer on your leader, especially if you keep getting stuck down in the bottom. And then you're just going to put a small hook. I typically use a size 10 to 12, somewhere in there. Salmon egg hook. You want a very lightweight hook so that when you smash a little ball of your dough bait on there, it floats and the hook's not so heavy that it sinks. So what you can do is you can drop the bait near the bank or near the dock, wherever you're fishing, on that hook, and just see, does it float or does it sink? And if it floats, then you're good. If it sinks, you're going to need a lighter hook or a little bit more power bait or something, because trout are a lot more likely to bite if you float that bait a little bit off the bottom. And if you follow these pretty simple, easy tips, you should be able to get out and get yourself on some nice stocked rainbow trout and other species of trout in no time. But don't take my word for it. Go out, use the rig that I use, try the power bait or another type of floating dough bait for trout, and see if you can have a day like this where you fill your stringer, have a good day, and go home satisfied you had a great day on the water. Good luck out there in tight lines, everybody. Thanks for watching, and if you learned anything from this video, I'd appreciate if you shared it out, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel.